What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman and Ben Rasa here for Awesemo.com, and we are back with the breakfast menu served up by No House Advantage. First and foremost, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Then head on over to No House Advantage and sign up using that promo code Awesemo. Get yourself a $20 instant match deposit bonus NBA contest. Well, generally speaking, NBA contest, not right now, unfortunately. MLB, NFL fast approaching, PGA, you can do them all for cash prizes, and you don't have to worry about fantasy points. We're talking player props here. We're going to give out a couple of them later for our sides. They're not the main dish for today because No House Advantage does not run the NBA draft, but you should still go there anyway. NoHouseAdvantage.com or download the app in the App Store. Win big with player props today. Ben, we almost cleaned our plate yesterday, but unfortunately, Bryce Harper was unable to acquire a second hit, just 3 walks instead.
Yeah, what can you do? He was getting on base, but those don't count for total bases, unfortunately. Again, I was fortunate to get that Cubs win. Garcia, it was a high-scoring game, but he fanned 9. That was easy to clear. That prop, I was really happy with it. I had a nice betting night, no drama, very relaxing. And that was nice to see on the diamond for a change.
My dog is losing
I hear him
downstairs. Yeah, it's really irritating to me. There's nothing I could do. I think my wife is downstairs. I would like her to stop the dog.
Maybe there's a burglar.
I hope. I truly hope. If there's a burglar here at 9:14 a.m. where I live, we deserve it. They can have whatever they want.
Something crazy happens, I assume it'd be good for views.
Yeah, right? That's true. Look, sacrifices that I can make for the betterment of the Awesemo Odds YouTube channel, which you should be subscribed to. Anyway, we're looking at NBA draft bets for today. I've got 2, you've got 2, and I feel like you want me to go first in order to plan out your attack later on.
No, that's not true at all. But I do think you being, the NBA guru around these parts, you've been doing contenders video, all that. You love the NBA draft. I'm gonna let you go first and set that tone.
All right. 1 strip of bacon. You probably could have got this a little bit better earlier, but we're a little late to the jump. 1 strip of bacon on Franz Wagner, top 10, -170. From everything that I'm seeing, he's in play, starting at the Warriors at number 7, all the way down to number 10 for the Grizz. He's a versatile wing defender, really good 3-and-D potential, shot 38% from 3 this year. It's Mo Wagner's brother, so that's also fun. He's got the lineage. He fits everywhere. He's the type of guy that can go to every single team and just immediately play and not have any worries about fit, because he can do a little bit of everything. He can guard up and down the spectrum. He doesn't need to have the ball. Solid shooter, keeps it moving, great team guy. Everything works here. I think he's live at 7 for the Warriors if they keep that pick, because he doesn't need the ball. He can knock down the 3, can be part of a versatile defensive scheme. The Magic and the Kings both need this exact type of guy at 8 and 9. I could see it going either direction there. And then there is some murmurs that he could go at 10 now that the Grizzlies have moved up there, but I think they're looking a little bit more at Josh Giddey. But if Giddey goes earlier than 10, I think Franz Wagner can land here in Memphis at the 10 spot. 7, 8, 9, 10. I think that all works. I don't mind going to -170. I think it would be really surprising if he fell out of the top 10. And if he does, someone's getting a steal.
Don't mind that. Interesting. That's going to kind of gel with my second pick a little. My first pick is pretty chalky. And we mentioned we talk about OddsShopper and shopping those odds all the time here at Awesemo. It's no more important than something like the NBA draft. These lines, they move really quickly. You're going to see different markets out there. This was definitely a better number early, but I still feel very confident. I would have liked to go to Green to be the second pick. He's going to be the second pick, but there's just no value left. I'm going to go to Mobley to go third. It's around -200. It's a little juicy, but I really don't think that there's much of a chance that Cleveland passes him up. He's obviously going to hopefully be a cornerstone of their front court for years to come. Extremely athletic, 7 feet at USC. Just fits. I think we know Cunningham's going to be off the board. I think Green will be off the board. I think the first 3 picks are very chalky this year, so I don't see any surprise there. -200, yeah, but you're still evaluating it against the odds of success. That's all that matters. I would lay -1,000 if it was true value of -10,000. I mean, that it doesn't really matter. It's all about weighing those odds. So at this point, -200, I still think you're getting a good price here, and he's going to be the 3rd player taken this year. So I'll do that to win 1 strip of bacon.
I'm nervous about the first 3 picks in the draft. I'm going to put that out
there. In what way?
Right now. I think someone can move in and out, and then that just sort of sends everything to be pretty crazy. And that's where I'm having some trouble reconciling everything, because they're obviously the first 3 guys that I think are coming off the board. I'm nervous that someone's going to move into one of those spots, but we shall see. Like that's really something to not be able to just dig into very hard. Mobley goes 3, barring crazy changes.
Oh, I definitely agree with that. And crazy changes can happen. There's no doubt about it. I'm hopeful that A, that doesn't happen, and B, that maybe a team moves up highly to get him at 3. I do think that's possible. It's not like, they have their heart set on someone else potentially. Of course, Suggs and other players, very, very talented. But I think Mobley will come off 3rd in this draft.
Going a little bit weirder for this one. Maybe not weird, but not one that I don't think a lot of people are talking about. Only a half strip of bacon, plus 300. Scotty Barnes to be taken number 4. Now, that is not something that most people are looking at. The main expectation is for the Raptors to take Jalen Suggs as like the pseudo Kyle Lowry replacement. I think that people need to keep their eye on the Raptors going to Barnes. It would create a very deadly perimeter wing defense dynamic with OG Anunoby. The real question is, can Scotty Barnes shoot? The current answer is no, not even close. 30% from 3 on just 37 attempts, 61% from the line. But if I'm going to bet on player development, I will happily bet on the Raptors to do something like that. We saw it happen with Anunoby. He was not a good shooter coming out of Indiana. Now he's shooting 40% on 6 attempts a game. And this game is different now. You can never have too many wings. I like Suggs, but I feel like Suggs is climbing the boards because he's safe. And it doesn't strike me as the type of thing that the Raptors would want to do now that they finally have a number 4 pick. The part that really scares me the most is that I think that the Raptors could try to move down to potentially 5 with the Magic and still take Barnes, because the headline is that this is sort of like a 4-person draft and Suggs is that clear 4 guy. The Raptors don't care about a headline. They've got a title. Everybody respects the entire organization. They will happily take the guy that they think is the best option for that team. And it doesn't matter what the storyline looks like. They're not going to get negative press by taking Scotty Barnes. So they could just take him at 4. I could just see them moving down a spot potentially if the Magic wanted to move up for Suggs, which would be a fantastic fit for them as well. That's the only part that scares me. But at plus 300, it didn't feel like the odds were long enough. I don't think it would be crazy to say that he's like a 25% chance to go to the Raptors. So I wanted to take advantage of that a bit.
I have no problem. I mean, something's going to happen. Obviously, it always seems like, all these picks, one domino falls. And Barnes it's an interesting guy. I don't really have a super strong take on him, but he's one that I do think there's a pretty large range of outcomes of where I could see him falling. I could see him going upwards of 4. Obviously, I like Mobley 3. I don't think he can crack into the top 3. So my second pick, it kind of is exactly what you said about Franz Wagner, but it's a different player. And I know there's a lot of guys kind of in this same bucket, but I look at the situation. I'm going to Moses Moody under 11.5 at minus 130. And I think it's for a lot of the same reasons. I think a lot of the teams that you think Wagner could go to, Moody could go to, starting with the Warriors at 7, the Magic at 8. Any of those teams. I wanted the Pelicans to stay in that pick. I thought that could have been a target for them, but I don't think it's impossible that the Kings or certainly the Grizzlies go to him. He's going to be a 3-and-D type player. He's got a long wingspan. I was really impressed with him at Arkansas. We saw him in the tournament really contribute. He's that type of guy, and I think he's a perfect fit for a lot of these teams and what the NBA is kind of going to. As you mentioned, you can never have enough guys that can do that. So, he fits all these teams' needs. I only need one team to grab him, obviously, and I get 3, 4, 5 chances kind of between 7 and 11. So at minus 130, I was definitely willing to go with that, and I think one of these teams will eventually snag him.
I don't mind that one at all. He was definitely a guy that I have been looking at and has been seemingly rising in the boards a little bit. Line kind of shows that too. 2 up, 2 down for NBA draft picks, but we are not done. It is time for our sides of No House Advantage. Getting off of the hardwood, we're over to baseball now. And I've got one that I just absolutely love because the public line just tells me that I should, and it's really that simple. Juan Soto, under 1.5 hits today. I have him projected for 0.95. Not that that really matters. Everybody's sort of just projected around 1 hit. But his current hits prop is minus 220 for under 1.5. So I'm getting a even line that is currently minus 220. Very, very easy to me. Under on Juan Soto.
We're going to make it unanimous. That's one of those situations that I looked at the same things that you did. And, we talk about this a lot with NBA. There's not, with minutes, guys slide into a starting role and it's, oh my God, he's projected for 2 points on No House Advantage and he's going to play 40 minutes. It's an over every time. Baseball, you don't really get that. You're going to get the opportunities, but the lines still tell the story. And there were a couple guys that I looked at that had that same situation. But Soto, to me, was the highest variation in terms of north of minus 200 there. That's all I really care about. You may not win it on the individual night, but over the year, if that's what you're doing to make your No House Advantage picks, you're going to come out ahead. And that's what obviously we're going to do here to try to steal a win tonight.
Yeah, I mean, if we just treat that like there's no VIG and it's minus 220, which is basically 69% to go under, we're getting it we are taking it at 50%.
Yeah,
that is a massive gap. If you were betting Kelly on something like that, you would be betting your house. The gap is huge. So don't overthink it. Juan Soto, that's true. No house, but we would have an advantage.
Yep.
There we go. Oh, man, I don't know how that's going to cut together, but it's going to be great. Either way, thank you for joining us on the breakfast menu served up by No House Advantage. Ben, any final plugs before we get out of here?
No, stay tuned. I will give one plug. As many of you guys know, the Awesemo Odds sports betting channel is growing fast, and we want you guys to subscribe. But we also have a podcast network. And one of the shows, we have a podcast-only college football feed, Betting You. Me and Matt Gajewski breaking down all these teams. I know football is not on everyone's mind just yet. The season's like a month away for college football. There's a ton of value out there. So if you're a college football fan or just enjoy betting, go give that a listen. Really worth it. Like I said, between that and Awesemo Odds, we have you covered from a betting standpoint on all these sports. Very, very exciting.
There it is. One last reminder, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to all of them. Awesemo Fantasy Football, Awesemo Odds, the regular Awesemo channel, subscribe to everything, hit the notification bell. Don't miss the content. We will be back again tomorrow with some more Olympics picks on the breakfast menu, served up by No House Advantage. We had a school-wide, basically it's like a beer Olympics without beer. We called it Rock for some sort of, but everybody picked their own stuff. Everybody made their own t-shirts, but volleyball was one of the pieces. I got too high for it and couldn't play.
Sounds like something that would happen.
That was senior year. I just remember being there and looking down at the
high school.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say, wow, down, rebel 6th grade.
No, this is senior year of high school. I remember looking down at the line before the volleyball game started, looking at my toes and the distance between it, and I could see the distance changing. I was like, shit, gonna have some trouble out here.
No, ours was in middle school. It was devastating.
I turned myself into the coach at that point.
Smart.
Yeah, and I should have been out there because I was tall in high school.
Wasn't tall in high school. Still not tall.
6'2" at the net. In a generic high school tournament is
that'll fly.
Yeah.